Hello, my friend. My name is Kakhaber Djakeli. I am professor of marketing, and today I am offering you my class about global marketing. Right now, we should understand well that there were different stages of globalization. Some stages are well-known stages, but some stages still they are not well-known, not well-studied by historians. So from well-known stages and well-known facts of globalization, we can bring examples of Alexander the Great, who really was the person with global vision and intentions to create global world, with global economy, with global exchange of ideas, with global manufacturing and global style and global mass culture, having small, little national attitudes and cultures to different kind of facts and different kind of phenomena of our life. The second stage of globalization, what is well known, was our world before World War I. You know, famous book of Jules Verne, 80 Days Around the World. This is globalization. English gentleman without any problem travels from one country to another country using railroads, trains, ships, different kind of boats, different kind of cattles, camels, horses, elephants, saves people and tries to come on time to win the bet against his friends. This is globalization. This was a really example of globalization. What was stopped by World War I? Still, it's not well known by global economy was stopped by war. What happened? Why economic system cannot care itself in the stage of globalization to solve all problems and not to bring world economy to the war. About this there are different ideas and economists still struggle which idea is right. The next stage of globalization or the third stage of globalization is actual time, where we live right now and what we do, how we do, and why we do all these things. This is also fact of globalization, an example of globalization. Let's follow our way. The post-World War era, I mean World War II era, brought a lot of intentions of companies to expand outside their boundaries and frames. 4 decades ago, the phrase global marketing did not exist at all. Today, companies go global to survive as competitors will enter the home market with lower costs, more experience, and better products. Right now, we should little speak about marketing. What is the marketing and why marketing is done and established? What kind of ideas marketing offers to you to help you to solve the problems of your own globalization? Because if you decide to go outside your boundaries, if you decide to go to establish your company's branch or filial outside your country, that means that this is your own globalization. Right now, marketing is the activity set of institutions and processes for creating, communicating, delivering, and exchanging offerings that have value for customers, clients, partners, and society at large. Marketing has its own instruments. Marketing has, for example, 4 P's: product, place, promotion, price. But global marketing demands more marketing instruments. That's why for global marketing, we cannot do only product. We cannot establish pricing. We cannot promote. We cannot place only. We need some additional instruments, and these additional instruments makes 4 P's to be tuned into 7 P's. So for global marketing, we have, beside product, price, promotion, place, also physical evidence, people, and process, what is very actual. Global marketing is the scope of activities outside the home market. So we should know well one great matrix established by Ansoff. This matrix, which is really very interesting for marketers, and what is entitled as product market grow matrix. This matrix is divided into several boxes. Into horizontal axis, once again, I want to remain your memories to this matrix. In horizontal axis, we have existing products and new products. On vertical axis, we have existing markets and new markets. So if your company does existing products for existing markets, so that means that you are not doing any globalization. You are doing very old approach of producing. So if you only establish existing products for existing markets, you need market penetration strategy. What is the market penetration strategy? This is very long supply chains. Your company should be affiliated to various supply chains. You should have really very accessible prices. This is penetration strategy. But if your company offers existing products to new markets, already you start your own globalization. And in that kind of situation, you need market development strategy. You should develop market. You should prepare market for your product. Maybe your nation and your country and your people knows this product already 2000 years. But nobody outside of your country knows well this product. So you should prepare the market. You should work to make market, to understand your product and understand the culture and some kind of grounds of demand makes people to use this product. But what is the next for globalization? If you have new product for new market, So this is totally interesting type of globalization, and in that kind of situation you use diversification approach of marketing. But if you have new product for existing market, so this is very interesting example of non-globalization. But this example brings us to globalization because new things, innovative technologies, innovative products in one part of the world already insists competitors to think fast and smart and do their best to compete well. So you touch not only your market, but you touch your competitors. And from which countries competitors come? Some part of competitors, they are from your own country, but a lot of competitors in our global world, they are from outside. So that means that if you establish new product for your small market or big market, but this is your domestic market, you already participate in some kind of real global producing, manufacturing, service establishment process, and you make your competitors to compete really well and think about the future. So what's really very interesting that global marketing has value chains and value proposition. For value chain, we can bring these examples. This is marketing along with other functional business areas to create value for customers. But value proposition, this is perceived value to the customer, the firm's promise to the customer. So customer perceived value, this is one of the most intellectual and interesting part of global marketing. We should create value for customers by improving benefits or reducing price. We have 4 options. First option is improve the product. The next option is how to find new distribution channels. The 4th option is how to create better communications. And the last option is how to cut monetary and non-monetary costs and prices. And what is the value of the product? The formula of value of the product is very simple. Value of the product is equal to benefits divided into price. So this is very easy understanding of value. But I want to also use some kind of words about globalization. Really, it's very interesting that Alexander the Great, King of Macedonia, he wanted really global world and he wanted really global economy. But after him, many people, they were so encouraged to think about globalization. I think myself that Alexander the Great's globalization, his idea came from Aristotle, who was teacher of Alexander the Great. But there are also different authors writing about globalization, and for example, Jagdish Bhagavati says that economic globalization constitutes integration of national economies into the international economy through trade, direct foreign investment, short-term capital flows, international flows of workers and humanity generally and flows of technology. So global industries, they are wonderful. They are very interesting and encouraging for us to engage globalization. What is the global industry? This is the industry what has really products and services offered globally. And people, they go to their domestic retailers, domestic markets, domestic some kind of chains or non-chains to choose not only domestic companies, products and services, but competitors' services and products. And these competitors, they come from other countries. So this is global industry. Indicators of globalization is really very interesting right now. First of all, this is ratio of cross-border investment to total capital investment. Proportion of industry revenue generated by all companies that compete in key world regions. And ratio of cross-border trade to worldwide production. About competitive advantage, we should say something. When a company succeeds in creating more value for customers than its competitors do, this is already fact of competitive advantage. We should have competitive advantage. Without competitive advantage, we should not start our business at all. So how it can be measured, our competitive advantage? It can be measured using relative, some kind of values to industry rivals. What kind of value is created by my competitor? Why I cannot establish and offer twice more value to my customers? This is the main question of competitive advantage. And also, Jay Barney says very interesting words about competitive advantage. He says, created when a firm has value creating strategy, not simultaneously being implemented by current or potential competitors to the market, to world market. What's interesting, globalization has different branches. So right now globalization goes really well in some kind of areas, especially in sport, and major league of different sports. They have unique chances to attract world customers, to attract watchers and lovers of the sport from different countries, from worldwide. So, for example, NBA, NFL, MLS, these kind of leagues, they do their best to attract really customers worldwide. European football, soccer, has also great chance to expand globally. And it's expanded globally right now. And to use all kinds of things in global marketing, this is the chance of marketers, especially sport marketers. About competitive advantage, globalization, and global industries, a lot of different things are said by different experienced chief executive officers of companies and corporations. They say that focus is very competitive thing. You should focus your company to one kind of area. But what is the focus at all? This is concentration and attention on core business and competence. For example, Nestle is focused, we know well, but how they define this focus? How Nestle's managers define this focus? really. What they say about Nestle is focused. We are food and beverages, they say. We are not running bicycles, and we are not running bicycle shops. Even in food, we are not in all fields. There are certain areas we don't touch. We have no soft drinks because I have said we will either buy Coca-Cola or we leave it alone. This is focus. So all companies, they should focus. They should focus themselves to some kind of areas of industry and think about who they are going to be. So we can compare what is single country marketing strategy and what is global marketing strategy. In our next lesson, we will speak more about strategies, but today we can only broadly compare these strategies to each other. Single country marketing strategy was, even today is, target market strategy. You choose one target market and you try to use one of 4 strategies, product matrix, product market strategies, to try to do something great on this market. So target market strategy, marketing mix tactics. This is well used by single country marketers. So global marketers use global marketing strategy, and it has global market participation. It has marketing mix development. So here we don't have 4 P's, we have 7 P's. Even 7 P's cannot be enough. Some authors of marketing, they say that 11 P's we should use. So there are also different kind of theoretical, practical competition between marketing theorists, professors, marketers, about how many P's we can use in our time. So also global marketing strategy needs some kind of approach to adapt their product, to adapt products of companies engaged to global markets, engaged to global marketing. Adaptation or standardization, this is the question, like Hamlet's question, to be or not to be. Because if you cannot adapt your product to the culture of China, and we will speak a lot about culture, because global marketing really based 65% on the culture of the country we engage, we enter. So adaptation or standardization. Standardization means that company is producing one product, and this product is standard product, and this product can be used in any kind of market, in China, in Guatemala, in India, in Georgia, United States, Russia, France, and so on. But adaptation is more interesting sometimes. That means that if you enter China, if you have pizza, and one example is Domino Pizza's example, Domino Pizza changed topping in China. Domino Pizza changed some kind of ingredients in Europe. So why? Because in China people have little different taste. Not little, but really they have different taste and different attitude to pizza. So this is great question. Adaptation or standardization. Concentration of marketing activities to adaptation or standardization. Coordination of marketing activities to adaptation or standardization and integration of competitive moves. All these things, they are very important for global marketing strategy. So, globalization has very interesting stages. We understand that in some kind of stage of economic development, standardization was very popular. And standardization was overwhelming in some kind of period. When we speak about standardization, that means that we should develop standardized products marketed worldwide with a standardized marketing mix. But once again, I want to repeat that this is not enough for global marketing success. We need to understand more about how to make adaptation. And adaptation is defined really well by another word. This is global localization. Please, all times try to remember this word very well. Global localization. This is adaptation. If you can globally localize your products, your businesses, your some kind of services, that means that you are already on the way to adaptation. If you understand well adaptation, your company will be a great company. We have several examples about. So eBay in China. When eBay implemented its services to the China's market, they gained great success. From beginning, they had 80% of the market, but they lost this market. Why? Because they did not understand culture of China, and they did not implement their products, their services to China's market using adaptation. And what was done after that by a competitor company, Taobei, by the way, and this Taobei became greatest company in China, and eBay died in China, and Taobei gained greatest market in China. So what is this kind of magical global localization? This is mixing standardization and customization in a way that minimizes costs while maximizing satisfaction. Essence of segmentation is also here. And this is like thinking globally and act locally. This is also magical words. Think globally and act locally. So understand well people, understand well their culture, understand well their motivation and their driving some kind of sources. What drives them to come and buy products of your company? What kind of factors of purchasing behavior brings them to my products and my services? This is really very actual question. And these questions makes me all times to try to implement new ideas into marketing. They are not really totally new ideas. They are only ideas what are opened or investigated or implemented step by step. So global localization really is magical new key of marketing to open new markets and to make companies to have successful future in global markets. So there are already interesting things in this kind of suggestion. What says that we should think globally, act locally. Maybe combination of standard or non-standard approaches makes us to find really our path to our customers. So we can say that many companies already, they think globally and act globally. And all these things is also based by economic development of our civilization. Our civilization grows. Economic development makes big nations to expand their financial power and expand their financial boundaries in foreign markets. And this makes also companies to go globally. So global going business has economic basics to go globally. First of all, if we touch United States companies, 75% of total world market for goods and services is outside the country, and United States companies, they should go outside to find these clients. For example, Coca-Cola earns 75% of operating income and 2/3 of profit outside of North America. For Japanese companies, 90% of world market is outside the country. 94% of market potential is outside of Germany for its companies, even though it's the largest European market. Right now, we need also little to speak about management orientation. Really, management has 4 great stages. This is planning, organizing, influencing, and controlling. Managers, they plan, organize, influence others, and control at the end. Even old managers can be suggested by me to think about how to improve their planning capacities, how to improve their organizing capacities, and how to make their best in influencing business, to improve also their influencing capacities, to be leaders, really, and how to improve controlling capacities. So to make managers to have huge planning capacities, this is very important. So these managers, they are conceptualists. They do concepts. They can write concepts. They should not do other things. They write concepts, but it's better if they know well planning and organizing in the same way. So great generals, great military leaders who were really great generals, and they were also using something we entitle as management. They were doing all these 4 things together. For example, great general Julius Caesar, he was using all these 4 things together. He was planning, he was organizing, he was influencing really well, his leadership skills were great, and he was controlling also. So he was very big controller of all kind of process his subordinates were doing in his military organization, in his army. So management orientation is very interesting. So first of all, some countries, they have ethnocentric orientation. What is this ethnocentric orientation? Home country is superior to others. This is one example of ethnocentric thinking. Sees only similarities in other countries this is also about one person or about mass audience or gathering of persons on the market who only watching some kind of good things in their country's products and services. Customers in ethnocentric orientation, they assume products and practices that succeed at home and will be successful everywhere. And such kind of type of orientation makes us to think about this ethnocentric orientation. And if we engage into the country and we know that this country has ethnocentric orientation, we should try to implement all kind of steps to overcome this ethnocentric orientation and make these people to think that this is their product. This is their proud to buy this product, to be involved in decision making of our company, to make them to be involved in some kind of description of products and services of our company, and to be proud together with us if we are really great. So this is very interesting and needed steps to make people to believe in foreign company engaged and entered their market. So another type of orientation, this is polycentric orientation. Polycentric orientation says that each country is unique. Each subsidiary develops its own unique business and marketing strategies. And they often refer to as multinational approaches. And this kind of polycentric orientation leads to a localized or adaptation approach that assumes products must be adapted to local market conditions. The next stage of orientation, this is regiocentric orientation. A region is the relevant geographic unit. For example, NAFTA or European Union market. This is interesting type of regional cooperation. We have Black Sea regional cooperation. So there are different kinds of regional cooperations, and this kind of regional orientation is sometimes very actual in the process of planning of marketing activities. So some companies serve markets throughout the world, but on a regional basis. So this is very important. The next stage of orientation, this is geocentric orientation. We have here very interesting approaches. Entire world is a potential market in that kind of situation. We should know well that global or transnational companies, they use geocentric orientation, and so they also use adaptation or some kind of extension approaches, standardization approaches, and step by step global companies or multinational, transnational companies, they do their best. Forces affecting global integration and global marketing. Multilateral trade agreements. They make already easy to implement one country's products and services to another country. So converging market needs and wants and the information revolution makes also easy to engage global market. Transportation and communication improvements. This is also one of the great factors makes all kind of people to think globally but act locally. product development costs. So costs, they go sometimes down, sometimes they go up, but this is no problem. Main thing is value. If value of the product is twice more than cost, than price, that means that this product can be easily sold to different markets. Driving forces affecting global integration and global marketing we should also take into consideration. First of all, leverage. And what is this leverage? Experience transfer, scale economies, resource utilization, and global strategies. They can make our company to understand well all kind of marketing things happening in new markets. Restraining forces affecting global integration and global marketing, they are some kind of very interesting theoretical backgrounds, what we should really understand well. First of all, management myopia. We marketers know well about marketing myopia. Marketing myopia, this concept was established by Theodore Levitt. This is about companies having very narrow understanding of their mission. And this is very bad. If company thinks very narrowly about its own mission, this company has a lot of problems. So, organizational culture sometimes makes companies to struggle in foreign markets. National controlling systems, opposition to globalization and opposition forces to globalization, also they make problems to global companies. And global companies should understand all these kind of things. What we should know well. Our world is really very colorful. We should do our business, but we should try to encourage all kinds of national styles, national cultures to be colorful, because world is very nice when it's colorful and interesting. So we should try to keep the balance between globalization and localization. Keep the balance between global economy and single country economy. So if we understand this, if we understand well how to keep this balance using different kind of ideas, using different kind of interesting, all so involving problems, we will do our best, and we have in that case global market, but colorful, national, unique differences. These differences will remain for our children and for their children, sure. So thank you very much. This was first lesson in global marketing. I am Professor Kakhaber Djakeli. Goodbye.